The final decades of the 18th century brought with them innovation and progress that are almost unparalleled in human history. The advent of the Industrial Revolution allowed work to be done and goods to be produced at rates that would have been previously unimaginable. Since that time, we have gone from water-powered mills to coal-fueled factories, from horse-drawn buggies to gas-guzzling vehicles, from mostly organic, naturally occurring raw materials to synthetic non-biodegradables. Well, in many respects, this progress was a tremendous boon for humanity. As with any major societal change, there were accompanying adverse consequences. The introduction of greenhouse gases, largely due to the burning of fossil fuels and unchecked commercial and consumer pollution, set off an increase in global temperatures that has only continued to accelerate with the passage of time. I have seen the impact of these changes firsthand. Growing up in Los Angeles, I lived just a stone's throw away from one of the busiest stretches of highway in the world. When my family later moved to Texas, I was able to observe the extraction of fossil fuels all around me. It wasn't a pretty picture. There are plenty of alarming statistics to be found regarding humans' impact on the environment, but this one hits particularly close to home for those of us living in Europe. Did you know the average European makes 487 kilograms of garbage per year? Wow. Because of the relative ease with which products can be obtained in countries around the world, many of us are now conditioned to consume, 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 without much regard for the impact that our unfettered consumerism has on the planet. As I'm sure you're aware, here in Spain, we literally have a grocery store called Consume. Personally, I'm partial to Mercadona, but we can talk about that another time. When it comes to our rampant consumerism, we need to remind ourselves of the popular slogan, "There is no planet B." And we can't keep living the way we're living if we want to survive as a species. So, is there a way to change our current course and ensure that future generations will have a habitable planet? I'm an optimist. So I'm going to answer that question with an emphatic yes. Thanks to many people way smarter than I am, there are lots of potential solutions to our dilemma. Among these potential solutions, one stands out as especially promising: developing circular economies. What is a circular economy? A circular economy directly combats waste production, which is one of the major contributing factors to the current degradation of our environment. As of right now, most economies operate linearly, which means that raw materials are used to make products, the products are sold and used, and the remaining waste is thrown away. Virtually everything taken in is made to be discarded and ends up in landfills, or even worse, the ocean, or rivers, or elsewhere in nature. How do we combat this? In contrast to a linear economy, where waste is rampant, a circular economy is all about waste reduction. Raw materials are harvested and collected, then manufactured into products for consumption. Products are distributed, then, in contrast to a linear economy, the products are used, reused, or repaired. Then, non-reusable material is taken and removed from the cycle, and everything that is left over is either reused or repaired again. So, what can we do to promote a society that is based around a circular economy? On a macro level, probably nothing is more impactful on the direction of a country's economy than its political leadership. Thus, we as citizens can support politicians that will drive positive change in the countries in which we live and move us towards a more environmentally responsible economy. But the fate of our planet will not be determined by one country or even a small group of countries alone. If the last 2 years have taught us anything, it's probably just how interconnected we all are and how important it is that we work together to solve the problems facing our world. Climate change and the societal structures that drive that change are doubtless the most global challenge that humankind has ever faced. We need leaders who can work across borders to ensure that everyone is doing their part. We can also influence the direction of our economies as consumers. It's no secret that corporations are one of the main offenders in the climate crisis. Therefore, it is vital that we as consumers are deliberate in our decisions to support the right businesses. Money talks, And where we choose to spend our money can have a major influence on corporate behavior. There are a multitude of ways for businesses to improve. Companies can establish eco friendly production methods, invest in sustainable materials, focus on ethical sourcing and employment, create higher quality products, and switch from paper to digital where possible. When we see businesses behaving in environmentally responsible ways, we should support those businesses. Apart from our responsibilities on a macro level, we also have a responsibility on an individual level to make changes in our lives to aid in the shift to a circular economy. We can get started by breaking bad habits that result in a less sustainable economy. We can reduce our personal consumption by focusing on quality instead of quantity, purchasing reusable products, limiting fossil fuel use, being mindful of natural resource conservation, being proactive recyclers, and a host of other things. By working to eliminate the wasteful practices of our everyday lives, we can help in the move towards a circular economy. I can sit here all day and tell you about how the planet is being mistreated and about the changes we need to make, but actions speak louder than words. It's now or never. To successfully shift to a circular economy, we need everyone on board. From the average family to the CEO to the halls of parliament, there has to be a desire for change. Let's come together, circle up, and save the planet. Thank you, and I hope to see you this April.